Hey yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Wise, aka Dark Skin Drake, aka Nighttime Voice. I'm with the kid, donSMITH. What's happening? What's happening, bro? How you feeling?
What's up, man? I'm feeling good. Feeling hot and busy, like everybody else right now.
All right, so you saying you staying busy? Like how are you how you faring over there with the COVID stuff? I know like up top because you in Harlem like right now.
I'm in Harlem.
I heard Harlem was like or New York was kind of crazy with the COVID, man. Y'all good?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting a little better.
Mm-hmm.
eh, we got hit hard earlier in
Beginning, right?
everything,
Yeah.
so I think that kind of gave us an edge in the second wave of things. But now what's happening is like the states around New York and the places around New York, like Jersey,
Right.
and the numbers are going up there. So
Mm.
I don't know. It's kind of just weird. It just feels like nobody knows if it's cool to go out or if we should still keep staying. So I don't know. Everybody's trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah, we in Atlanta, bro. We've been going to they've been going to the strip club since March still, bro. So, hey, I've been staying at the crib, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Good.
just one person, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you about everybody else.
You could
But
probably go to the strip club with Zoom or like some type of virtual. They probably got things like that now.
well, like
No,
everybody going to what's it called? Starlets? What's it called?
something like that, man. Like virtual. Yeah,
Virtual strip club?
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I
Good.
don't put nothing past where we at right now. Like I feel like this has been pushing everybody to be the most creative they can be. You feel me?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Yo,
Mhm.
so I checked out your music. So even though I'm from the South, you know what I'm saying, I like Outkast and Jeezy and all that, and
Right.
but I still also my favorite rapper is Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying, and
Mm.
I listen to Nas and like Dipset, all those dudes. So from listening to your music though, I got and correct me if I'm wrong. First, let me ask, how old are you, bro?
I'm 27.
You're 27. Okay, so we're around the same age. So who are your like your influences? Because I hear like some like Griselda almost like with your beat selection. I don't know if you rock with Griselda like that.
Yeah. Peace to all of them. They holding it down big right now in the scene.
Okay.
But influences, I mean, I feel like New Yorkers walk with a lot of pride in terms of the kind of stuff we grew up on sonically,
Mm-hmm.
which is why there's such a gap between the young New Yorkers and the old New Yorkers, because the old New Yorkers hate what a lot of the new New Yorkers are doing. And the new
Yeah.
New Yorker, you know what I'm saying? Like between the older generation and the younger generation, there's kind of like this disconnect. But with that said, I'm definitely from the school of older kind of stuff.
I can hear that. I can hear that.
Just general storytelling stuff, because I also grew up on Outkast, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my favorite rappers also like are West Coast rappers, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on The Game and Blue and Pac Div, You and I, but of course there's like cornerstones to New York, obviously. There's Nas, there's MF Doom, there's so many
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, so a little bit of, it's definitely not all New York, but I know it's easy to hear that in my sound, which is good. My whole thing is you should be able to listen to what I'm making and know exactly where I'm from. And that should be true for anybody.
Yeah, that's for sure. I definitely could tell you it's from New York. I definitely feel like the bars are definitely there for sure. It's good to hear a New York rapper in 2020 who is not trying to sound like he's from Atlanta, who's not like on some A Boogie, Tay J type wave. And so you telling me you 27, that makes a lot of sense. So you was born in what, like 92?
93, yeah.
Yeah, so I know where you coming from, bro. You still, it's like our generation is like the last bit of like the guys who respect like the art of rapping.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no shade either. It's just, it is what it is. And I feel like there's a certain type of torch, like I said, pride there that it's kind of like, and that's why I like groups like Griselda because
Yeah.
they're so much older than me. You know what I'm saying? And they're seeing great success in carrying out that type of sound. And now they're stepping in more and like even into more commercial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you could not have told me that was going to happen a couple of years ago when Magnolia was on the radio every 5 minutes. And, you know?
Yeah.
The climate's always changing, and you got to appreciate it for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So with that being said, like, do you remember like the first album you bought or the first album you downloaded? I know I came up on LimeWire, so
yeah,
I wasn't really buying them per se.
Yeah.
So like the first thing that I downloaded was probably like College Dropout or like the Black Album, stuff like that. So what was like the first album that you purchased and you sat down and you listened to and you were like, I love rap?
Man, you know, I feel like I inherited a lot of whatever my brother was banging at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when we still had cassettes, actually, you know, because my brother's I'm the youngest of three. So my oldest brother, you know, he's from the 80s and, you know, he's used to playing cassettes in the car and stuff like that. And I actually still got it here. I keep all my like old CD and cassette collection, but the first one that I remember holding in my hand is Black on Both Sides, most of.
Ooh, that joint's hard, bro.
Yeah. And then the other side is it's like a split cassette. So the other side is like a whole nother project, which is dope. Yeah.
Black.
That was one of the first ones for sure. Yeah. And if it wasn't that, then maybe, you know, all the bootleg G-Unit CDs you could buy at the African spots in the city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You got to appreciate that stuff.
I feel, no, seriously though. And I think you got to have like a mixture of being new and fresh, but also being from New York, you gotta have like that. You gotta be respectable. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a really good deal up there. I would say, right?
It's a tough crowd, man, for sure.
Man, have you performed at like SOBs?
You know, a lot of my friends have performed there, so I've been on stage a bunch and been there for a lot of events. But my own actual performance, nah, not yet. I kind of been waiting for the right type of moment because that's a staple, right? It's like any artist coming up in the city is like, you got to pass that stage at some point.
Yeah.
I just want to make it. I don't want to do it just to do it. I kind of want to do it right. So.
Okay. So I asked you like, you know, who you first listened to or influencers or whatever. If you had to pick 3 artists,
right,
and put them in a pot, like you know how Eminem was saying, you know, he makes some Big L or whatever, and then I'm What You Got or whatever. He named some other rappers. Like if you had to put 3 rappers in a pot to create a dish, and it was donSMITH, what rappers would you throw in that pot?
Shit, man, that's hard. That's I've never been asked that question in that way before. It's usually like, you know, it usually just stops at what are your biggest influences? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. You know, I'm listening to my stuff all the time, so I kind of become like a little tone deaf sometimes. It's weird.
I feel that. And a little bit of tone deafness is good, though. A little bit is good.
It is. It definitely has helped me a lot. But you said one of them for sure. If I had to choose, Big L would definitely be one of the first ones, 100%.
Big L was a monster.
Yeah, his grit, you know, he was underrated in a lot of ways. You know, he was never scared to say exactly what he wanted to say on the record, no matter how gruesome. So yeah, I put him in there for sure. Is this just what I think or also based off what people have said to me?
Do both. Do whatever is, you know, what comes to your head first.
Okay. I think for sure I get The Game a lot.
I feel like you.
And I feel like a lot of people
rap better than The Game. In my personal opinion.
I don't know if I can say that, but you know, that's a big compliment. But I think a lot of people don't give Game enough of his flowers. You know what I'm saying? And I think even he feels that way. But I definitely heard that a lot, more so because of my voice, the rasp in my voice when I rap. And he has a very unique voice. If I had to choose a third person, some type of other storyteller. I don't know if you ever heard of Blue.
Blue, yeah. There's
Yeah.
probably not many rappers that you could mention that I've never just heard of at all.
Okay, good.
Blue,
Yeah, I've said that to people, and people been like, "Yo, I don't know who you talking about, bro." Like,
Blue came up in a weird era. Like, I don't think Blue came up in like the early 2000s, right?
Around the same time as you and I, Pac Div, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that. Yeah, for sure. Kids in the Hall.
Wow, they from Chicago, right? Yeah. So what about like Lupe and J. Cole? Like because that's what I was getting when I was listening to it. Those you don't really, or those not on your list?
I mean, I think to be mentioned with any of these names is always going to be flattering to me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the goal. I think the goal is to, 100% pave your own way in your own lane. But it's still a compliment, you know what I'm saying? Because we all go to the same shows. We support a lot of the same artists because of what their story is, the social work they do outside of the music. J. Cole's a great example. So, it's always going to be a compliment, but I don't know. I'm always artists like Lupe and J. Cole are interesting because J. Cole has evolved so much over the years. In a lot of ways, I kind of just got started. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we've seen J. Cole go through so many different stages. Yeah. And where he's at now, it's like, I can't even really conceptualize sounding like him from where he's at right now and where I'm at right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Lupe is just, one of the greatest wordsmiths, period. I'm trying to get like Lupe. I'm trying to get my pen game like Lupe.
Lupe is crazy with it, bro.
Yeah. He's a crazy. That's a legend right there.
Okay, so speaking of J. Cole, you see how he's like trying to try out for an NBA team. Did you see that?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was true or not. I didn't know.
According to Master P, man, I don't really know Master P to be a liar, but I also don't know him to be an honest man either. So it's
right.
But if you had to pick one other profession outside of rap, let's say you know what I'm saying, you get on, sold out tours, you got platinum albums, you got the song with Beyonce and Rihanna, all that stuff, right? And you're like, you know what, I'm tired, like, let me try something different. What would be your next challenge that you would try to conquer?
It would definitely be teaching.
Teaching. Sure. Wow. Okay. That I didn't expect to hear that. But you know what?
Honestly. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Because of your music, how you telling stories, that makes sense though. That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the reason I rap the way I do is because of teachers, either inside the classroom or outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a privilege to be a scholar. Anywhere you are, in any type of form, anything can be a classroom, really. And I think consistently through every decade, one of the consistent driving social forces and even, political forces really is the youth.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's disappointing to hear, so many percentages of youth aren't voting, don't want to go to protests, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying, like that. But generally speaking, every decade, the consistent energy is consistent among youth. And I feel like it's such a vulnerable, impressionable age. And I think what gets in you in those early years has a way of coming out later. And I think it's important, especially for Black and brown people, to get the right kind of stuff put into them young.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to not a lot of the situations we're in, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it also to be cool to be a teacher and be like, yeah, like I used to rap and now I'm teaching y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I
think that something cool about that.
Man, maybe you could, end up, being a professor at a college. A lot of these rappers is
Maybe. Honestly, I think that would be a privilege. It'd have to be the right college though.
So like a HBCU, or would you do a PWI?
Maybe it couldn't be, I'll be very intentional about where I would want to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even
That's
if that
dope.
meant starting. Honestly, I don't even think college is the level I want to be at. I think I'd rather teach
Oh, you
high
want to
school.
go like the
I think high school is, you know, that's the line for so many Black and brown youth. It's like that's the goal they're trying to meet. Period. It's just to graduate high school, and then and I just don't. That norm doesn't sit comfortably with me. And again, those years is just easy to be a grade A student. The spectrum from being a grade A student and being in jail or dead, I feel like it's a lot of things on that spectrum. And it'd really be nice to focus more on this side of things. Yeah. So I think those are the years that it matters most in my experience.
Yeah, no, that's real, man. That's real, man. That's actually really cool. Like, you know, a lot of rappers would say, you know, owning some sort of basketball team, or, you know, for you to say that, like, the thing you would want to conquer after, or when you know you've conquered rap, like to teach, that's amazing, bro. Speaking of teaching,
I don't. Sorry to cut you off. I don't even think that it's like. I think owning a basketball team would still be lit. You know what I'm saying? It's just that feels more like a money move. You feel me? I feel like culturally, it's like the way you would want to give back.
Yeah.
The way I would want to give back. Yeah.
That mentality that you have, so you would say it's more so about the culture, right? Over grade.
For sure.
That's what could give you that longevity, bro. So that leads me to my next question, though. So, you know, you have your 50 Cents or your DMXs who sell 5 million, 8 million, go diamond on 1 or 2 albums, and you know they have business ventures, and that's their longevity. But then you have, you know, your artists who their debut is 100K first week, but then the second one is 200, and the next one is maybe 200. And so, would you rather have one get rich or die trying, or would you rather have 5 solid 150 to 200K albums of what you want to make?
I think that what's more important than either of those things to me is just connecting with people in the right way. I think no, go ahead. What?
That's crazy. You answered everything right. Like, I feel like if you get the right opportunity, I feel like you will probably last for a very long time. And that's the importance of getting on at 27 versus 18, like that mind. So I feel like
man. I feel like it's hard to be in such a world full of distraction and energy and Instagram, and Twitter, and try to focus on the bigger picture. Like you got to move so many things out the way to even get a glimpse of what that is. Like to conceptualize it as a 16-year-old in 2020 is like almost impossible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think, you know, it's like some of my favorite artists are the ones that have cult followings, the fans that like, this artist might change their sound every single album, and every album might not do the greatest they could do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But their fans are like, but I'm gonna stick with him through this journey. I think Kid Cudi is one of those artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think even somebody like A$AP Rocky is one of them artists. You know what I'm saying? I think he's changed his sound a bunch, and you know, and his image has changed a bunch over time. But I think the people who really have been loyal to him have been rocking with him since One Train to now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm sorry I kind of answered without answering, but I think that's the most important thing to me. I think it's just having people who's down to ride with me. You know, I'm not gonna be perfect, but I'm not trying to be perfect.
So impact over dollars.
Yeah, for sure. Impact over impression, for sure.
Right, because if you're making that impact, you always gonna eat, man. You always gonna eat.
You know.
So I guess okay, I like that, man, and I feel like even with what we have so far, I feel like I can tell like if you're given that right opportunity, bro, you're
I
good,
appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah, yeah, because I feel like you would rather have that consistent vibe, that consistent flow versus like that superficial like making some like ambiguous like random hit record and everybody
Mhm.
loves it. You know what I'm saying? I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that. That's
for
dope.
sure.
And I feel like you are probably what your city needs, bro. Because I don't think who do you think is like the hottest or biggest rapper to come out of New York in the last 5 years?
And probably A Boogie.
A Boogie?
Um, yeah, A Boogie is a superstar. Like,
Hmm.
and he's so much younger than me. I think.
Yeah, he's like early 20s.
Yeah,
Well, is he a
you
rapper?
know,
Is that a rap?
yeah, he raps. I think if you do the mixtape homework and the
Okay.
the in between the money making singles, you see that boy can rap for real.
Okay. Okay.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not up there, so I have to I take you on that because I just hear the hits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and I understand that. That's why like I can never try to be like, yo, like I feel like sometimes people get defensive, and it's like, yo, it's really like where you are, like
Right. Right.
it affects your perception. But yeah, I probably say A Boogie, maybe Tekashi, but I feel like A Boogie got a
That
lot more longevity than Tekashi.
Takashi is his career is so smoky and like I can't really tell what's real. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I don't know. Like I don't really like to speak about him and compare him to other artists because it's a lot that goes on with that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he was successful in a short amount of time, like record breaking successful. That's
and
why
it's
I thought
fishy.
his name was worth mentioning. You know what I'm saying?
It's fishy though.
It is
Come on, it's
fishy.
fishy. It's fishy.
Yeah,
He's a fishy dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? The numbers
yeah,
are a little weird. I mean, people say numbers don't lie, but in the age of technology, numbers. I feel like numbers can lie. I feel
yeah,
like there's
sure.
so many bots. You know what I'm saying? It ain't 2012. It ain't 2009. Like the numbers can be kind of warped a little bit, man.
Mm.
But so like overall, like how are you adjusting as an artist as far as COVID goes? Like I know you're probably not performing like that. I know. See, with the way that you seem, it seems like you probably got to go out and like touch the people. You know what I'm saying? And be in person with them. So how are you adjusting to that?
Man, well, the most recent project I put out, Dear Culture,
Mm-hmm.
so much of that project and what I have to come with the album that comes next is about being where you're from and being proud of where you're from, but also protecting where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I can talk about that stuff without being with the people, being, what I'm saying, tapped in physically. With that said, so much of my art feels that way. You know what I'm saying? And is for the people, by the people. And that goes from who I collab with on the production side, who I want to feature, you know what I'm saying? Like, but to answer your question more straightforward, it's been an adjustment, and we've seen some of even the most successful artists, popping up on your Instagram, being like, yo, I'm doing a mixtape, tag the hottest artist. That's because they're not touring, they're not making money. So they gotta find ways to make. So with, an artist on my level, we struggle.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is it's giving me a lot of time to just work on my stuff and plan. I think I spent time resting for sure during this time, but I spent a lot more time planning. And yeah, it's an adjustment, man. I don't see this going back to normal anytime soon.
Nah, no.
Do you? Like,
Nah.
yeah. So
that's good. Because I
yeah.
see a lot of artists trying to force it. come see my virtual performance or my virtual open mic. It's like it just there's a disconnect there. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same. You know, and I feel
Yeah.
like you seem like the type of artist. I believe what you're saying. Like you're resting and like probably writing. You know, collecting stuff like versus like trying to say like. And I understand. You know, when you have a business, you have to adjust, but at the same time, man, like when you selling something that's genuine, it's kind of hard to just say, okay, you know, we about to sell this shit virtually. You know what I'm saying? It's just not that simple.
And you know, I've had artists reach out to me like, yo, can I holler at you for a second? And I've been like, yeah, what's up? And they've said to me without me even bringing it up, like, yo, I'm having trouble because I have this really important piece of work I was working on. There's a big statement for me as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to just throw it out into the world carelessly now, just on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So these are like, a lot of people are going through these same things. And I would be lying to say that I wasn't also subjected to it. So just got to learn how to adapt, you know what I'm saying? And accept that things are not going to be exactly how you want them to be, but I don't think that means you got to shut down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I could say I definitely now I listened to it beforehand on some like, you know, you want to do your research on the artist, but now after this conversation, now I'm about to go back and listen again and really listen to it, bro. For real.
Word, I appreciate that, man.
With that being said, you know, you're not Jay-Z, you're not at a Jay-Z level, but there are people who are gonna see this and who are gonna essentially look up to you. So like, what are 3 things that you would want to leave to, because you know you spoke on wanting to teach if it wasn't rap, right? So what are 3 things that you would tell you know, anywhere from 12 to 16, a 16-year-old aspiring artist? What are 3 things you would want to leave with them, like if you had to say something to them?
Aspiring artist. I think one, you know, you got to be ready to work with the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the age of the internet and kids going gold and platinum from their bedroom, and having all these resources at the end of our fingertips on our phones, I think it's easy to kind of just settle in and be like, yeah, I can learn how to do everything myself, and I don't ever have to work with nobody. I don't gotta, you know. That's cool. It's cool to be the dude. It's cool to be the jack of all trades. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to know how to do everything, but there is a great power in collaboration. Okay. So that's one of the bigger things I would say. I would say also you got to spend money to make money.
Yes.
Period. And it's always gonna feel like damn, like I really just break my pockets for this. You know what I'm saying? For this session, this album, this mix and master. You got to think of it as you are, you know, you're building a brand, you're building a business. And in order to do that, you have to invest in it. People will not invest into your product until you convince them to. And the way to do that is by taking it seriously yourself. People can't take seriously what you don't take seriously. How can I sell you that? You know what I'm saying? If I don't even really believe in it, and it shows through how much money and time and resources I'm putting into it. So that's the second thing I'll say. Spend money to make money. What is the third thing? I mean, to be honest, don't get so caught up in the comparison game. It's so easy to, you know. I think competition is healthy. You feel me? I grew up an athlete. Competition is very healthy, but do not let it push you to make decisions that you do not fully stand behind, because you will regret it every time. And I'm speaking from experience. You know what I'm saying? That song I put out, that video I put out, that I look back and I'm like, would I put that out now? Like, probably not in that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I was letting all these other factors on the internet, on the scrolling, on the timeline, get in the in my mind, and try to convince me that that's what I should be doing, and not, you know, even if I don't feel fully compelled to, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So be honest, pure, 100%.
All right, man. That's awesome, man. I appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah, man, for
This has
sure.
been a great interview. Like, I'm not saying I thought you were a douchebag or anything like that. That's crazy, but this went way better than I thought it would. Like you dropped some gems, bro, and I hope that people watch this, no matter
Yeah, me
what
too.
age they are, and they really get something from this, for real.
Yeah, me too, man. You know, I think with the kind of music I make,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my fan base is older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can
You know what
see
I'm saying? You know, younger kids sometimes listen to my shit and be like, yo, this make me think too much, bro. Like, this is like,
that. Yeah.
you feel me? And I can't be mad at it. So I agree with you. You know, I hope that everybody from all different types of walks of life, you know, tap in the way that we want them to. And I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate y'all reaching out. I wish all interviews felt this conversational. Sometimes it feels very choppy.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you, man, for real. Bless.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. All right, man. We would Winifred's daughter is wise. I appreciate you, Don Smith. I appreciate it, man. Until next time, y'all be safe out there. Peace.
Love. Stay safe, man. Peace.
All right.